Okay, welcome to the Mom Life Hack stage. If you are continuing to join us, then welcome back. And if you're newly here, welcome. I am Carly Silberstein. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the CEO of Redstone Agency. We are a Toronto-based event management company. We have been pivoting and transitioning to everything virtual events over the past few months, similar experiences to the one that you're enjoying today. And I am a mom to a beautiful 16-month-old girl, so I am thrilled to be here amongst all of my fellow moms. And without further ado, we're 2 minutes after the hour, so I will quickly introduce Dr. Laura Bellis. She's here to talk about the trimester number 4, how to optimize your health after giving birth. Laura, thank you so much for being here with us, and I will pass the stage over to you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here today. We have a lot to cover in a short 30-minute time slot, and I will leave questions till the end. So please, if you have any questions along the way, make sure you type them in the chat box. I have my little phone tablet here next to me, so I'll be able to see those as we go. And if you have the opportunity to screenshot some of the slides as well, there's some really valuable information that hopefully you'll be able to come back to. So let's make sure we get started right away. A little bit about me. I am a naturopathic doctor here in Ontario. I practice in Oakville and virtually for well.ca. So I know a lot of moms and moms-to-be and women in general love well.ca, but obviously now is a great time to also bring your healthcare online. And I'm working with a lot of women and moms in this way as well. So virtual care is here to stay. My passion really is women's health. So yes, moms and children as well, but really the focus is on women's health. So pre-pregnancy, post-pregnancy, like we're talking about today, but anything as well, anything in between, skin, hair, hormones, sleep, you name it, we talk about it, and hopefully some tidbits I'll be able to pass along today that you can start implementing right away. I'm also a chocolate lover and a skincare junkie, so if you follow me online, you'll be able to get some non-health related tips as well. So let's talk about trimester 4. A lot of women think, oh, this is only 3 months after giving birth. It's the first 3 months after baby is born. And not quite. Sometimes it is. Trimester 4 can be right after birth for the first 3 months. But actually, for a lot of women, it can go much further beyond that. What trimester 4 is actually meaning is, how is your body post-baby? How are you feeling post-baby? How are your hormones post-baby? So for some women, that transition is a few months long. For other women, it can be 6, 12 months, or years long. So the goal for us now is to really focus on what can we do in trimester 4, regardless of how long it is, to support your health, because your health is very important. We obviously know about baby's health, and that is crucial as well. But let's make sure we focus on one thing and one thing only today, which is don't let your cup get empty. We always see on Instagram, on social media, the memes that are there. You can't pour from an empty cup. A lot of us know that age-old saying, and it is absolutely true. When I'm working with women one-on-one, we're obviously starting pre-pregnancy. We're starting pregnancy if that's when they first start working with me. And if you're just new to naturopathic medicine or natural health or optimizing your health, welcome. This is the place we're going to start. We don't want the cup to get empty. We don't want our battery to not be charged up. Okay, these are the critical nutrients that your body needs pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, but specifically post-pregnancy. These are the ones that are most dropped after giving birth. And not surprisingly, these nutrients, when they are low, are the ones that are causing a lot of the symptoms that I work with women on. Hair issues, energy issues, weight issues, mood issues. And again, there is going to be a transition, and that is absolutely normal. But what we don't want to happen is these nutrients to get so low that these symptoms are now becoming more unmanageable. So let's talk about iron. Iron is very common in third trimester. A lot of women say, I'm taking my prenatal. Yes, you're going to get a little bit of iron in that, but a lot of women need additional iron in their third trimester. And if you weren't taking additional iron in your third trimester, you really want to think about getting your iron levels tested now. So you need to know, do you need additional iron? Now, iron is a big topic on its own. We don't have enough time to cover too much about it today, but I will say that a lot of the women that I work with are needing additional iron, but not those mega doses, not the pharmacy strength iron tablets that are causing constipation and upset stomach. A lot of women forget to take them, don't want to take them, and they don't even raise the iron that much. So make sure you're talking to a naturopath about an easy to absorb iron if you need it. Now, zinc. Zinc is definitely one of those minerals that baby needs for brain, mom needs for immune system, and definitely for hair, skin, and nails as well. Probably my favorite source of zinc has got to be pumpkin seeds, but if you can eat seafood or shellfish, easily you can get some increased levels of zinc this way as well. Vitamin B12, where do I start? Vitamin B12 is the energy, weight loss, and anti-anxiety vitamin. Screenshot this right now because I want you after this talk to go check your prenatal, go check your multivitamin, and make sure you have the right forms of vitamin B9 and B12 in your vitamins. The right forms are the activated forms of vitamin B12 and vitamin B9. They should say the word methyl in the ingredient list. So when you look at your ingredient list, you see vitamin A and C and D, and you'll see vitamin B12. Look at the word next to that vitamin. And if it says methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin, or methylfolate, you're in good shape. If it is an inactive form, like the cyanocobalamin or folic acid, those are synthetic. And about 1/3 of us women have an issue using that form of the B vitamins, meaning our body has to work 2 or 3 times as hard to get the benefit. So if we don't know our genetics, which most of us don't, well, let's not guess. Let's just opt for the easy to absorb version. And methylcobalamin and methylfolate are the 2 types of active B vitamins you want to make sure you're using. A lot of women think folic acid is only during first trimester. It is absolutely not the case. It's important for new red blood cell production, important for mood, important for helping hormones and detoxification. Basically, helping you feel your best. So these 2 have got to be in their active form. Iodine. Iodine is, again, an important mineral. A lot of people are using iodized table salts, but if you're using a lot of mineral pink salts or sea salt, you might want to make sure that your prenatal or your multivitamin has a little bit of iodine in it. Or like me, I always recommend those iodine, those seaweed snacks, pardon me. The seaweed snacks are great. They're dried seaweed. If they're organic, they're going to be very, very low in heavy metals. You don't have to worry about those issues. And they're a really nice, tasty afternoon snack. Iodine is important for your thyroid. So ladies, please make sure that this is something you're adding in through food as much as possible. Selenium. Okay, we are in a very crazy time in this world, and selenium is important for your thyroid. It's important for your metabolism, but it is also important for your immune system. Remember, selenium with zinc help your immune system work its best. The easiest way to get in enough selenium is through food, and one food in particular. If you've tried Brazil nuts, you know what I'm talking about. Brazil nuts are those sort of larger, buttery nut. They almost look like a large cashew. And you literally only need about 2 or 3 or even 4 Brazil nuts a day to get your maximum a daily intake of selenium. So really for women, it's not a handful like almonds or peanuts. It's really 2 or 3 or 4 Brazil nuts. And your selenium is going to stay high and boosted. This is especially important if you are taking thyroid medication or to prevent any issues post-pregnancy. A lot of women have more strain on their thyroid. Let's make sure we're doing everything we can to fill up our cup. Now, omega-3s are another topic, and they are a big one. So I just encourage you guys to think about your omega-3 levels. If you're not eating fatty fish like salmon or sardines twice a week, make sure you're adding in omega-3s to your diet in the form of a fish oil or an algae oil, which is a vegetarian plant-based source of the omegas. Very important for brain, very important for baby brain, as a lot of new moms will tell me. And I really want to make sure that this is something we can support, especially for mood as well. We don't want to underestimate the importance of omega-3s and specifically DHA, which is a specific type of omega-3 that will be in all of your fish oils or your algae oils. We'll also talk about protein in a moment, but let's just take a moment here. I'll give you a second to screenshot this as well. Make sure you can double check with your prenatals right after this talk to make sure you're taking the active forms. Okay. Now let's do a quick check-in. How are your levels? Is your cup empty? Whether you're postnatal 3 months, whether it's 13 months, regardless, you want to make sure you're answering these questions honestly, and this might give us some indication of whether we need to add some extra support in. Fatigue or exhaustion. Now, a lot of moms will tell me, well, of course I'm fatigued. I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping well. Well, a lot of amazing speakers, even just a few speakers ago on this stage was talking about the importance of sleep. Now, every baby is different and every schedule might be different. But if you are feeling to the point of mental or physical exhaustion, meaning it's difficult for you to get up, to get a cup of water, to go unload the dishwasher, just feels excruciatingly tiresome, you want to get that checked. You want to work with a naturopath or someone that can really help optimize your health, because that means the cup and the battery are empty. And it's very difficult to boost your levels up unless we're doing something about it. They don't just get better on their own. Feeling tired after waking is an interesting symptom. I often ask my patients this, okay? How are you waking up in the morning? Are you exhausted upon waking? If you're sleeping well, you'll often feel okay when you wake up. You might feel a little bit tired, you kind of get going, but a lot of moms will tell me, well, by the end of the day or middle of the day, I'm getting a little bit low in energy. That's different than waking up already tired. If you're waking up already tired, it means we might need to fill up the cup. We might need some thyroid support. We might need to make sure we're filling up our nutrient levels to help our metabolism and our thyroid and our stress glands, our adrenal glands. But we'll talk more about what you can do with that in a moment. Now, falling asleep unintentionally, I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing when people think about it. Being able to fall asleep is important, but falling asleep unintentionally on the couch, maybe with your spouse at 6 or 6:30 p.m., tells me you're sleep deprived. And that also tells me that, again, the battery needs to be recharged. So we're going to talk about what you can do. Tired but wired. A lot of women will tell me this baby radar is on, right? And hundreds of years ago in evolution, it was important for mom to be making sure that baby was not in any big danger. And our minds and our brains were always on making sure that nothing bad was going on. But at this stage in our lives and in modern 2020, most of us might have some additional support, might have an ability to keep baby safe, which hopefully that's all of us. Keeping them safe in a safe place to sleep, no direct harm, which means that baby radar should be able to turn off even for a few hours. But a lot of women are used to this go, 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 always on. They're not properly turning off the reset button. And that allows, unfortunately, your candle to be burning at both ends. And then our battery charge just drops. Our cup just empties out. It's not sustainable. So we've got to talk about focusing on stress and focusing on recharging that battery. So just check in with yourself. If this baby radar always feels on and you're tired, but you're still wired, your brain is very active, this might mean we need some additional support with our stress. Feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, or irritated. Now, honestly, I work with so many women. This is not a postnatal thing. This is not just only after having a baby. So many of us in busy lives, a lot of us were busy before getting pregnant, while pregnant. Postnatal, a lot of us are still go, 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 trying to manage our house and our chores day to day. So it is easy to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and easily irritated or impatient. This is a sign, though, that our stress glands, our adrenal glands, are not fully charged up. So we really need to talk about supporting that. And we are going to talk about some strategies. So just check in if any of these are you. Brain fog or baby brain, very important to check in on. That's why the DHA or the omega-3s are very important, as well as getting your thyroid checked. And loss of libido, very common after pregnancy, first few months, but normally 6, 9, or 12 months after giving birth, a lot of women will report that if their levels of energy are okay and they're doing okay, that the libido has slowly started to come back. But if you're at that point, 6, 9, or 12 months, and it's not where you'd like it to be, or you're noticing, you know what, I thought it would have bounced back, more so, this is something you want to talk to your naturopath or doctor about, because this might indicate the hormones are lower than we want them to be. And we need to boost those up. And we might need to do some additional supplements or something a little bit more targeted for the hormones. I did want to talk briefly, just for a quick second, about postpartum depression and anxiety. A lot of women think that they're alone, that nobody has these symptoms. Well, in fact, 10 to 15% of new moms have either experienced some level of postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety. Now, this often happens 3 to 6 months postpartum, but there was a study in Australia that actually found women 2 years postpartum started to get those sensations of feeling low, down. They weren't a good caregiver for their little one, constantly worrying. These symptoms came later. So it wasn't that their hormones after birth were dropped down. It was perhaps the fact that their bodies were already on empty, that things were okay for the first few months, but after 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, the body is depleted again. So unless we're filling up our cup, it's very difficult for our body to bounce back. This is especially true if you have pregnancies close together, back-to-back pregnancies or pregnancies within 2 years of each other. Very, very important to fill up the cup, not just while you're pregnant, postpartum as well. This trimester 4 is key. Whether it's 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, you want to make sure that you've answered those questions that we talked about on the last slide, and overall you're feeling pretty good. Yes, you might have less sleep than you normally did, of course, but overall, how are you coping? And be honest with yourself about that. And if you are experiencing more intense symptoms of depression or anxiety, you do want to talk to your doctor or naturopath about that, because there are things we can do, absolutely, natural or conventional medicine. All right, what do we do? Time's a ticking. I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to ask questions. Fill up your cup. Fill up your cup is what I hope you guys leave this lecture from. I'm giving you lots of options. Try and commit to doing one of these today, taking one step. Now, as a naturopathic doctor, we are the detectives of health. When I work with women, whether it's hormones or not, or energy or weight, there's always something going on at a deeper level, and we don't have to guess. We can test. I work with so many women postpartum, and they've told me, well, I never got blood work. The last time I had blood work was when I was pregnant. Not okay. If you're feeling anything less than great, you've got to make sure we've double checked the blood work. Keep in mind, thyroid is very important postpartum. Make sure your doctor runs a full thyroid panel. This will also tell us if you're on medication, your medication might have to change. If you're not on medication for thyroid, but you're feeling extra tired upon waking in the morning, difficulty losing weight after 6 months postpartum, this might be an indication that the thyroid might need to be looked at. Full panel is really, really key. So make sure your doctor runs that. Iron, vitamin B12, and vitamin D, those are no-brainers. If you haven't had your vitamin B12 and your vitamin D tested, talk to your naturopath and make sure you're working with someone that knows how to interpret these results. I have women bringing their lab results to me and saying, oh, everyone told me I'm fine. I don't feel great, but they said my lab work looks okay. And then I look at their lab work and it's not optimal. There's a difference between not having a disease and not needing medication because you're so sick. That's one group. The other category is, well, I don't feel great, but I want to feel good. Your blood work might be normal, but it's not optimal. So knowing if you have a practitioner, whether that's your medical doctor who's done extra training, or whether you're working with a naturopath or functional doctor that specializes in overall integrative health, you want to make sure the person interpreting your lab results knows what optimal looks like. Now, in trimester 4, very important to continue a high quality prenatal. I don't have enough time to talk about high quality prenatals, but this is definitely one of my pet peeves. So many poor quality prenatals on the market, making sure you are paying for something that you are absorbing. That's not just going right through you and not being absorbed. It's got to be a high quality so your body will use those nutrients, especially if you're busy. You can't eat exactly the way you want to. This is your way of making sure you're covering all of your bases. But please make sure you're adding in some extra DHA, some omega-3. And if sleep or stress or anxiety are an issue, you might want to consider magnesium, specifically magnesium glycinate with a G, glycinate. Okay, what about sleep? I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but we'll see what you guys think about this. Sleep. Moms tell me that they use their baby's nap time to do the things around the house that they were supposed to get done. This is not ideal. If you're not sleeping well at night because baby is very, very little, normally under 6 months, there's still a lot of waking going on. And again, there was a whole topic on sleep training a few lectures ago. So hopefully you guys can go back and listen to the recording of that. But I want to highlight that if you are having issues with feeling energized, with feeling impatient, with feeling low energy, you're just not where you want to be, sleep is your best friend. And during the day when baby is sleeping, you've got to focus on your sleep, even if it's resting. Use the time when baby's awake to do small chores around the house, put them in their little bouncer if you're doing basic kitchen cleanup where you can see them, carry them on you if we're doing very, very light housework, whatever needs to be done, sleep needs to be a priority for you. Just like we would never deprive a little one of their sleep, of their nap time, you are no different. And this recharging the battery is not just eating the right foods and maybe taking the right prenatal. Yeah, that's important. But we cannot out supplement bad sleep and poor sleep. So please make sure wherever you can get extra sleep, use that opportunity. And support, ask for support, taking small breaks, even from your spouse. The women I work with have a hard time sometimes asking their partner to watch the little one, especially if they're back to work and they have a long day. Giving yourself, remember that baby radar that's always on. If you have someone you trust to caregive for that little one for a few hours, even just to properly unplug where you can turn that baby radar off, that's allowing your battery to recharge, okay? Don't be afraid to ask. You can figure out, of course, what your comfort level is on who you want to ask, but make sure that you are not feeling you've got to take it all on because that's your full-time job as being a mom. Absolutely, you've got to give yourself downtime too. Now, the food piece. As a naturopathic doctor, we talk a lot about food. Food is medicine. There's a couple things I want to say. Ease off the cardboard hydrates. Yeah, you might have heard that wrong, but it's actually true. Cardboard hydrates, the low nutrient carbs, the crackers, the breads, the granolas, the pastas, the noodles, things like that. Now, if there's still stomach issues, if there's still nausea, that's different. Work with your doctor on that if you're having issues with keeping food down. But postnatal, that's normally not an issue. Make sure you're focusing on high nutrient foods. A lot of my moms will tell me that we are adding in that vegan protein smoothie and they're feeling really good. They've added a scoop of vegan protein with their favorite berries and ideally non-dairy milk. So it's not bloating, it's not gas causing and not causing colic in the baby if you're nursing. Making sure that you're having that liquid nutrition. Easy to sip, especially while nursing or while relaxing if baby is asleep. Okay, vegan protein powder with your high nutrient level fruits and veggies is an easy way to sip on that nutrition, even if you don't have a big appetite. But lots of healthy fats, rainbow of produce. Please stay away from all the beiges and the browns, like onions and mushrooms and bread and peanut butter. Like those are okay, but you've got to have that rainbow of colors in there as well. I also want to highlight the importance of protein. 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. So let's just use the easy math for a quick moment. If you weigh 160 pounds, divide that by 2.2, 160 pounds divided by 2.2. So we get how many kilograms that is. That works out to be about 70 grams. 70 grams of protein per day is what you want to be aiming for. Having enough protein will help your mood, will help you recover, also if you're recovering from a cesarean section, and really helping, like I said, your energy and your body's recharging abilities. If we don't have enough protein, a lot of women still struggle to lose weight, to feel their best, and to have a balanced mood. So really make sure that you calculate that daily protein intake that you need based on your weight right now. Now, some of my favorite postnatal foods, I give this quick little screenshot to all of my patients. Greens, oats, high quality carbs, okay? Doesn't mean no carbs. You want carbs to feel full, easy to digest. Oats are fantastic. Cherries, ground flaxseed, not the whole flaxseed. Unless it's ground up, your body will not absorb all the goodness from it. So make sure it's ground up or grind it yourself and put it in a Tupperware and leave it in the fridge for about a week or so if you just want to be using the ground flax seeds as you go. Dark chocolate, I hopefully don't need to convince you to consume any of that. Pure filtered water, make sure you have at least a basic filter at home. Fatty fish, if you can tolerate that, 1 or 2 times a week. And if you absolutely do not eat fish, you definitely want to make sure you are doing a high quality omega, specifically high quality, high levels of DHA. And nuts and seeds, we talked about that. Brazil nuts and pumpkin seeds are my favorite postnatal nuts and seeds, and those are easily available at most bulk stores and grocery stores. So now what? What if we need more help? Let's talk about it. Talk to a naturopath. If you've never worked with one, I encourage you to make an appointment. Make a free discovery call. We can talk about what your health goals are and maybe how I can help. And if I can't help, or if I feel there's a better suggestion, I'll absolutely let you know. You can use MomTO20 for $20 off your initial visit if you book from well.ca/services for your initial 60-minute consult with a naturopath. But if you're just curious to know how this might be right for you, or maybe you want to get a little bit more info about your hormones, your stress hormones, your female hormones, if there's any issues with mood or weight or energy, of course, we can talk about this as well. And that's where that initial consult comes in. And if you just want to make sure you keep a lot of these healthy, natural living, well-being tips coming to you, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm the most active online on my Insta, which is at Dr. Laura Bellis. So let's talk about what we can do, and let's answer some questions. How does that sound? Okay, let's see here. We had, thanks for great info. Prenatal Vitamin. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about prenatals all the time. Definitely my favorite brands off the top of my head are definitely going to be Thorne, NFH, and Designs for Health. Those are probably my top 3. They're not a 1 pill a day, and your doctor is not going to be suggesting those. These are easy to absorb, high quality prenatals. And normally it's 2 per day, 3 per day, or even 4 capsules per day. But they're not causing issues with your stomach. They're not causing issues with nausea or constipation. These are high quality and not much more expensive than your basic prenatal, but absolutely worth it 120%. Vegan protein shake that tastes good and not synthetic. Well, that's a great question. I like Sun Warrior. I like Progressive. That's another brand that makes some really good vegan protein. Progressive, yeah, those are 2 that come to mind. Sun Warrior. Oh, and Garden of Life also makes a good one. Now, of course, if something is a rice protein or something that's made from vegan sources, is it going to take a little while to get used to it? Maybe. Yeah, if you're used to like milkshakes and whey protein and very creamy stuff, I normally recommend putting in half a banana or a quarter of a frozen avocado to make it creamy. And don't start with a full scoop. Start with half a scoop or a quarter scoop and build up from there, because a lot of these protein powders are going to help you reach your daily protein goal. Remember, 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. A lot of women are way under that. And then they're wondering why they're feeling depleted, tired, and their mood isn't great. So this is your chance now to fill up that cup, even if you're not planning on becoming pregnant later, especially if you're planning on becoming pregnant potentially again. But really, you owe that to yourself to make sure that recharged battery does happen, and putting yourself on your priority list, okay? It doesn't have to be top of the priority list. I know a lot of women don't even they're not on their own list. They're off the list. Everybody else is on their list. So make sure you meet that list and make sure you put that as a priority. But start simple. Start with the protein. Where can you get those prenatal vitamins? Some of them, the ones that I just mentioned, you can buy them online, well.ca, from your naturopathic doctor. Some of them are available online. I don't recommend buying from Amazon because we don't know where they're coming from, and you might buy expired products. So always, again, ideally buy them from a site that you trust, that you know, and that's definitely my first place to start. And I hope that's helpful. Pre and postnatal hormonal acne. Crystal, yeah, great question. Oh, I work with so many women with acne, and that's a tough one. It's normally due to lack of zinc, lack of some of the B vitamins. Your liver is kind of overtaxed with all the hormones that have just done a big roller coaster. You want to give it time. If you still have acne over 6 months, postpartum, then of course you definitely want to work with a naturopath so we can get some answers for you. I hope that was helpful, guys. I sped across like I don't know what, but we covered a lot. I hope you took some screenshots of that. Carly, I know we're good on timing. I don't think there was anything I missed, but please connect with me online, guys, if you have any further questions to continue the conversation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Laura Bellis, for being here with us. And yeah, if you want to put your contact details in the chat, we can continue the conversation offline. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you.